This is VK1WIA and the weekly WIA amateur radio news service on RF, internet streaming and text at wia.org.au.
You've guessed it, it is the national news for week commencing September 27, 2020, in our 25th year of non-stop news. I'm Graham, VK4BB, and today, as usual, we're joined by Felix, VK4FUQ, Jason, VK2LAW, and Bruce, VK3FFF, and along the way, we'll hear a follow-up to the story last week about fertilisation on 40 metres, how an old 16-inch TV knocked out an entire town's internet, and details of a contest called the Day of the Whales Memorial Contest. In news from WIA-HQ, our Vice President has good news on just how well the WIA's online examination trial has been accepted. Well, accepted by all but one club, which will remain nameless. In local VK Comms news, Jonathan Nally, writing in Critical Comms Online magazine, speaks of the New South Wales bushfire inquiry. The bushfire inquiry has made a range of recommendations for strengthening that state's emergency communications capabilities. The final report of the inquiry has been released, and it makes numerous recommendations for improving the fighting of bushfires and boosting the technology and resources available to firefighters and emergency management authority. Many of those recommendations concern communications. To start with, the inquiry found there are several problems with New South Wales Public Safety Network, the PSN, formerly known as the Government Radio Network, including the well-known issues of coverage, forcing agencies to rely upon PMR networks that can't provide broadband data services. The report also states that despite work to provide connectivity between the PSN and the Queensland Government Wireless Network, there is no multi-state interoperability for wide area communications, and New South Wales radios must be physically fitted to interstate metropolitan firefighting vehicles when they arrive in New South Wales. And in news from Old Wales, the mystery of why an entire village lost its broadband every morning at 7 a.m. was solved when engineers discovered an old television was to blame. A pensioner couple in Wales were unaware their old 16-inch bush TV set would emit signals which would interfere with the entire village's broadband. After 18 months, engineers began an investigation after a cable replacement program failed to fix the issue. Broadband's Openreach engineer, Michael Jones, said the company's chief engineering team helped to solve the mystery by using a spectrum analyzer to look for a phenomenon known as shine, or single high-level impulse noise. The embarrassed householders owning the TV promised not to use that television again, and the village now has a stable broadband signal. Hey, you're not a WIA member? Well, details on how you can become a member, just email nationaloffice@wia.org.au. Again, that's nationaloffice@wia.org.au, or click the link on the bottom right of the homepage at wia.org.au. Now, WIA Director and Vice President Lee Moyle, VK3GK.
You may recall about 3 weeks ago I announced the WIA had released the online trial foundation exam portal as a response to the many requests from potential foundation candidates needing access to trial exam practice. Well, the response from users is that it has been an overwhelming success. Several successful candidates have contacted me and have praised the WIA initiative enabling entry into amateur radio becoming more accessible to them by improving their confidence in being successful at their first attempt. In fact, nearly everyone we have had feedback from has been incredibly positive so far. Some recent statistics from earlier this week revealed that over 1,100 trial exams have been attempted and completed since the 3rd of September until the 24th of September this month. That's only in 21 days. We had over 300 unique IP addresses and one person attempted 62 exams, but the record was 82 exams completed. Definitely one who just wanted to make sure they passed with 100%, I think. I expect the outcome will be an influx of foundation exam applications for our friends at AMC to process. So expect some new call signs popping up on the band shortly. Word has it that many of the new foundation licensees are now studying to upgrade to standard and advanced while in study mode. And they're also asking about more easily accessible online study materials. Let's see what we can do. Some people refer to the current questions and answer trial exams as learning by rote, or it being just a multi-guess exam. Well, this is definitely not true, as any good educator would know, and was supported by an article I recently found on Doug, VK4ADC's website, with a reference to a University of Queensland comment that was referring to multi-choice questions and knowledge, which stated, many students believe that multi-choice exams require them only to recognise true statements. However, multiple choice exams require many more skills than just recognition. They require students to distinguish between right and wrong, and also to use a variety of higher order thinking skills, such as the ability to analyse content, synthesise material and apply knowledge in order to determine those distinctions. The reality is, if you don't know the material, don't expect to achieve the 70% pass mark just by guessing. On another note, the WIA board is pleased to thank Peter Schrader, VK4EA, for stepping up and offering to manage the WIA social media and content working group. Peter and his team will have some exciting initiatives coming up shortly for promoting the WIA. AR magazine seems to be appearing faster than one can finish reading the previous edition. A big thanks to Roger Harrison and the PubCom team for getting things in order. By the looks of it, we are back on track for delivery of the standard 6 issues of AR magazine by year end. A great result. Our only pressing issue now seems to be Australia Post and the inconsistency in delivery attributed to the staffing levels and restrictions. Even the local metro areas, and especially noted in COVID lockdown Melbourne and surrounds, where some of the recipients managed to get both editions delivered on the same day. That's it from me. 7-3 is from Lee, VK3GK.
Across Australia from VK1WIA, you're tuned to the WIA National News Service, which can be heard in the ACT and Campbell region through our Mount Janini repeaters on 146.950 and 438.050 every Sunday at 0900 local. On behalf of the Campbell Region Amateur Radio Club broadcast team, this is Amanda, VK1WX.
On the education scene, radio clubs and training courses. A popular way to learn more about amateur radio is to attend interesting lectures, often held by knowledgeable radio amateurs. There are over 70 radio clubs with training courses for the foundation licence alone. Now, some training courses are held over several weeknights, whilst most are on a weekend, and of course COVID-19 restrictions are in place, so double check. Contact details for radio clubs offering training and assessments can be found under affiliated radio clubs on wia.org.au. Most questions about how to join the ranks of amateur radio may be answered by the WIA through our website. So if you have a question, complete the online form, wia.org.au.
From Australia, this is VK1WIA and the weekly WIA amateur radio news service on RF, internet streaming and text at wia.org.au.
International news with thanks to IARU, RSGB, SARL, Southgate Amateur Radio Club, ARRL, RAC, NZART, Amateur Radio Newsline, and the worldwide sources of the WIA. I'm Jason, VK2LAW. We begin this week's international news from India. The Millennium Post describes how radio amateurs were involved again in helping to reunite someone with their family after 15 years. The newspaper says, a person from Madhya Pradesh who had gone missing on his way to Kashmir 15 years back reunited with his family Saturday last with the help of ham radio enthusiasts from West Bengal. Badri Prasad, 43-year-old, was going on a family tour in Kashmir on a train. He alighted at a station near Delhi to buy snacks and never got back onto the train. His family members couldn't trace him. Then, 15 years later, Prasad was discovered roaming like a vagrant on a road in Bangoan. He gave his original town name and ham radio folks swung into action and tracked his family of 15 years ago, finally reuniting them. Nordic Radio Amateur Union, NRAU, is celebrating its 85th anniversary. Founded in 1935 by pharmacist John Frederick Carlson, Sierra Mike 6 Uniform Alpha, its aim is to coordinate radio amateur activities and work towards a common solution for Nordic countries. The NRAU members are Denmark, Faroe Islands, Iceland, Norway, Finland and Sweden. To shed light on the organisation's 85-year-old history, Eric, Sierra Mike 6 Juliet Sierra Mike, had searched the archives in Karlsborg for the first statutes written in 1936 and an article in QTC magazine number 7 in 1949. 2020 ITU radio regulations now available. The 2020 edition of the ITU's 2020 radio regulations, which will come into force on the 1st of January 2021, is now available as a free download from the link we like in this week's text edition of WIA National News. RF pollution from electric vehicle wireless chargers. Veron reports IARU Region 1 President Don Beattie, Golf 3 Bravo Juliet, is ringing the alarm on WPT-EV. WPT-EV stands for Wireless Power Transmission for Electric Vehicles, wireless car chargers with high power of 20 kilowatts. A translation of the Veron Post reads, Don says the discussions about WPT-EV have reached a point where they're moving from the technical to the political arena. Discussions with a national regulator indicate that we must now take action at the national level. The amateur service, but also other telecommunication services, will experience the consequences of WPT-EV. Don Beattie adds, in the interests of the future of amateur radio, we need to get the attention of national regulators. So will you please take action? Don is on hand to assist national associations should they require further documentation. This is about the future of amateur radio. To Canada now, Radio Amateurs of Canada 2020 conference on YouTube. Some great video here, and when viewing it would help if we all took heed of the great article in AR Magazine issue 3 written by VK2 Golf Charlie Echo. Between verification and validation by Brian Clark, he explains how ideas that work in one country may not appear to work in another. But back to Canada, where Sunday, September 20th, the Radio Amateurs of Canada held their 2020 conference and AGM online. These videos are now available to watch on YouTube. Among the videos are Amateur Radio and Youth, Getting Started with Amateur Radio Satellites, 6-metre FT8 DXing, Amateur Radio Hotspots, a quick overview. The first video contains the keynote presentation, a fireside chat, amateur radio during the global pandemic and other topics. In the USA, it was like the opening scene from a movie. Cars pulled over on a busy freeway with everyone gawking in disbelief at what they were seeing. Drivers in New Jersey on September 14 thought a flying saucer was hovering above them, but in reality it was just another day in 2020 and the UFO was an aircraft from planet Earth, the Goodyear blimp. With just the right lighting conditions, viewing angle and reflections, the blimp looked like a classic flying saucer. I'm Jason, VK2LAW, and as I leave you this week, it's to Sweden. Sierra India 9 Alpha Mike to close. The amateur radio visitor station Sierra India 9 Alpha Mike in Ragunda, Sweden, was established in 2000 and is now set to go QRT. WIA National News Editor Graham VK4 Baker has more.
It was established 20 years ago and is owned by 8 radio clubs in Sweden's third call area. There have been no guest operators, however, since the COVID-19 pandemic, and its board has opted to cease operations on the 1st of December. Since the visitor station opened on July 19, 2000, it has logged about 160,000 QSOs. The station is known as the King Chulu Longkorn Memorial Amateur Radio Visitor Station and is located near the Thai Pavilion that opened in 1998 to honour the Thai King's visit to the Swedish town in 1897. SI9AM President Jorgen SM3FJF made the announcement, adding that all QSL cards and SI9AM awards will still be sent for confirmed radio contacts. Feeling like I'm on the set of The King and I'm Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Across Australia, from VK1WIA, you're tuned to the WIA National News Service. In the Hunter Valley, it's relayed on 146.775 MHz and 3.565 MHz at 9:30 AM and 7:30 PM Sundays. On behalf of West Lakes Amateur Radio Club Incorporated, I'm Greg, VK2CW.
AM Radio Operational News with Contact Sport. I'm Felix, VK4FUQ. Oceania Contest, voice from 0600 hours UTC Saturday October 3 to 0600 hours UTC Sunday October 4. CW from 0600 hours UTC Saturday October 10 to 0600 hours UTC Sunday October 11. CQ Worldwide DXSSB October 24-25. CQ Worldwide DXCW November 28-29. Also in November is the Day of the Wild Memorial Contest, 7th November 2020. This contest is in memory of Karine Dubois, FYYSY, who developed the Wild Contest. Rules are on their Facebook group and at the links in this week's WIA National News. Wilds around the globe will remember her the weekend of Saturday 7th of November and Sunday the 8th of November. December 6 to 8, 160 metres worldwide. December 14, 15, 10 metres worldwide. All major Australian contests, rules and results are on the contest section of the WIA website. DX window. Australian special event. Special event call sign VI75 WW2 is active until November 11, 2020. To commemorate the 75th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. Aruba. Members of the Aruba Amateur Radio Club will be QRV with special event call P42WW this month of September to commemorate the end of World War II. QSL via P41G. Now as I leave you this week, it's to Beacon News. New multi-mode beacon network for South Africa. Following the successful launch of the 2-metre Bethlehem beacon in December 2019, the South African VHF working group has been investigating digital options so that a reverse beacon network could be established to monitor the various propagation modes, such as tropospheric propagation and others. The reverse beacon network will be able to send SMS alerts when an opening occurs. At its monthly meeting this past week, the group agreed to develop a multi-mode beacon network with next-generation beacons in Cape Town, the Karoo, and the current Bethlehem site. The new beacons will transmit a digital signal, a Morse code signal, and a continuous tone that can be used for frequency calibration. For VK1 WIA National News, I'm Felix, VK4FUQ Inningham.
At the Q News workbench, soldering iron down, calculators out. Amateur Radio Software Award. Special event station K1A is active for the Amateur Radio Software Award between September 25 and October the 4th, 2020. The special event station promotes innovative, free and open amateur radio software. The 2020 Amateur Radio Software Award recipient, Anthony Good, and his K3NG Arduino CW Kia software project will be honoured during the event, and nomination for the 2021 awards will also be encouraged. The Amateur Radio Software Award is an annual international award for the recognition of software projects that enhance amateur radio. The award aims to promote amateur radio software development which adheres to the same spirit as amateur radio itself. Innovative, free and open.
From Australia, this is VK1WIA and the weekly WIA Amateur Radio News Service on RF, internet streaming and text at wia.org.au.
Hello, I'm Bruce, VK3FFF in sunny Bendigo. Worldwide Special Interest Group News. Astronomical. Last week, Jupiter had 79 moons. This week, it may have 600 more, including some that go backwards. A new study says that there may be as many as 600 small irregular moons orbiting Jupiter. An irregular moon is a minor object that used to orbit the Sun, but was captured by a giant planet early on in the solar system's history. Having swapped from being Sun orbiting to planet orbiting, they often have eccentric orbits, distant, inclined, retrograde. They orbit backwards. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, ATV, Ham Radio Club Talk Collection on YouTube, a collection of Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society online talks are now available for everyone to watch on YouTube or maybe use as program content on your ATV repeaters. The talks include amateur radio on satellites and the International Space Station, introduction to amateur television, Bob Hale, K9EID, his radio journey, having fun and learning Morse code, high-altitude balloons, building magnetic loop antennas, working DX without spending loads. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, Final Frontier. AO7 is approaching a return to full illumination sometime around this very weekend and will last until approximately December 26th. During this time, it is likely AO7 will switch between modes A and B, 2 metre, 10 metre, and 70 centimetre, 2 metre, every 24 hours. So, get those 10 metre antennas ready to enjoy Mode A every other day. On another note, here's a reminder and request to remember to keep the power down. Andrew, KO4MA, AMSAT VP Operations, says he has observed sometimes several different stations, usually in the middle of the passband, ditting away on CW in an attempt to find themselves. This often bounces the entire passband up and down and sometimes causes the transponder to reset or flip to Mode A. Try to find yourself with very low power or on SSB or best with full Doppler control, and the other users will thank you. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, Rescue Radio. The 2020 Annual General Meeting for Wyson, New South Wales was to be held Saturday by teleconference. Also, in VK2, Volunteer Memorial Day for 2020 is at Mrs Macquarie's chair in the Domain, Sunday the 11th of October. In-person attendance is via invitation only, but the event will also be streamed online. Emergency exercise, Austria off-grid. On October 3rd, radio amateurs will participate in the nationwide emergency exercise, Austria off-grid. A siren rehearsal will take place on October 3rd, 2020, during the annual Civil Defence Test Alarm. But not only the function of the sirens for alerting the population will be tested on this day, but also the communication that takes place after an alarm is sent. Alerting by means of a siren and subsequent communication via radio is a realistic scenario. Assuming that no further information is known, we radio amateurs should proceed in accordance with the emergency communication leaflet the OEHAMs have. During this Austria-wide emergency radio exercise, radio stations of the Federal Armed Forces, ORF, A1, Joanita, ORK and energy suppliers are also QRV on amateur radio bands. Special interest groups, Worldwide Flora and Fauna Parks Program. David Giles, VK5DG/3, has successfully claimed the first KRMNPA Merit Award with satellite endorsement. Commencing his satellite activations of eligible VK3 national parks in 2011, David gradually increased his satellite activations to 25 parks in 2018 and completed all 45 eligible parks during an intense period of activations across the annual KRMNPA activation period in 2019. David has submitted an excellent article detailing his equipment, techniques and experiences, which was published in the park's SOTA pages of issue 2, 2020 of the AR magazine, pages 52 and 53. With the previously announced cancellation, I think all of VK3 will be looking forward to 2021 when the Keith Roger Memorial National Parks Award will kick off again. I'm Bruce, VK3 Triple F.
Across Australia from VK1 WIA, you're tuned to the WIA National News Service. In Northern Victoria, it can be heard on VK3 RMP 147.275 at 10 a.m. on Sundays. I'm Matthew McKernan, VK3 MJM, on behalf of Scouts Victoria, VK3 SCN.
WIA National News continues now with the social scene. 2020 VK7 Miana QSO Muster, Saturday, October 24. VK4, the Rockhampton Amateur Radio Club's annual dinner, Saturday, November 28. The TARC Christmas Party, Sunday the 13th of December. The TARC Christmas Lights Tour, Friday the 18th of December. And the CHARC AGM Lake Marraboon is happening this weekend, 2021. VK4, it's TARC again, that dual club. TARC Australia Day Long Week Family Radio Camp, Thursday afternoon the 21st to Thursday afternoon the 26th of January. VK2, the Wyong Field Day, Feb 28. Alara Meet 2021 happens in Bendigo, VK3, October 1 to 4. And in VK7, the biennial Hamfest, Miana Community Hall, November.
This is VK1 WIA. All points of contacts from today's news stories are to be found in print when you read the web editions, www.wia.org.au.
The final, copper-plated. Following the French discovery of 7 megahertz RF benefiting the growth of plants in last week's WIA National News, we have more now thanks to
Good morning, Greg, VK3 and VK3 FTL.
Newsletter. After having dug to a depth of 10 feet last year, French scientists found traces of copper wire dating back to...
I was going to go back there, but I just thought I'd pop my head up and say good morning.
Ancestors already had a telephone worth more than 150 years ago.
If it ever stops raining.
Be outdone by the French in the weeks before. American archaeologists...
Good facts, mate, good facts. Yeah. The other radio on the news is currently tripping out because I think it's being overloaded by this radio, which is in the same room, just on one end of the band, the other one's on the other end of the band. Anyway, not to worry. I'll bid you 7 trees and call it a day and go back to RAC, but just thought I'd pop my head up and say good morning. Cheers, Greg, VK3ND, VK3 FTL.
After digging down to a depth of 33 feet in the Clifton area of North Yorkshire in 2011, Charlie Hardcastle, a self-taught local amateur archaeologist, reported he had found stories in today. Charlie had therefore concluded that...
Greg, work you later, VK3 FTL, QS back to RAC.
Wireless.
No, but
Just makes us proud to be British.
From Australia, this has been VK1 WIA and the weekly WIA Amateur Radio News Service. On RF, we thank our rebroadcast team and you for listening. And remember, internet streaming and text of this news is available 24/7 at wia.org.au.
Thank you for listening to the national news from VK1 WIA. A callback and the Emdrc Club net will follow in just a few moments. For information about the latest Emdrc Club activities, please go to emdrc.com.au or search VK3ER on Facebook.
everybody on this bright and sunny morning. Thought we were going to need a boat this morning after the rain yesterday. This is Michael, VK3 FLMV for the WIA News callback on Sunday the 27th of September. All stations wanting to say they heard the news can do that now, and we'll start as usual with country and portables, please.
Good morning, Michael. VK3GL, Graham in Bunya.
VK3 Golf Hotel. VK3 Echo Quebec. 3 WET Portable. VK3 November Lima, Maramu. VK3 Alpha Bravo, Bacasar. VK3 VRA, Caramara. VK3 FDAR, Portable.
VK3 FJAG, Portable.
VK3 Triple J, Portable. VK3 ZKK, Portable. VK3 ZT. VK3 BJR. VK3 Tango Echo Romeo. VK3 JOX in London. VK3 AQJ Summers.
Okay, so far I have GL, GH, EQ, WET, NL, XAB, VRA, FDAR, FJAG, ZKK, JOX, and AQJ. Any other country and portables?
3 Tango Charlie Romeo. VK3 Tango Oscar Tango near Ballarat. VK3 Victor Lima Tango. V-Triple-J Portable. VK3 WAR Macclesfield.
I had a bit of a pile up there. I added JOX, AQJ, VWP, TCR, TOC, WAR. Any other country and portables?
VK3 Bravo Juliet Romeo. VK3 Zulu Tango. VK3 Victor Lima Tango.
Okay, we added BJR, ZT, and VLT.
VK Portable. VK3 Tango Echo Romeo.
I missed whoever was portable, but I added TER.
It's Triple J. VK3 Alpha India Fox.
Video, we've got Triple J and AIF. Good morning to Rocky and David. Any other country and portables?
3ZAQ.
VK3ZAQ. Good morning to you too. Okay, are we done with country and portables? Last call for country and portables.
3.
DCQ Portable, check in, check out.
Could we confirm that was BCQ, please?
Delta, Charlie, Quebec.
Now got you, Mr. DCQ. Only got initials of TJ. Could I have a name, please?
It's Trevor, go ahead.
Thank you, Trevor. I'll know that next time, and I will alter my little database here. Any other country and portables, please? Okay, moving along. Anybody listen to the news mobile today?
DK3VZS, good morning, Michael.
That was BZF, is that correct?
Negative, Victor Zilla Sierra.
Alan, I've now got you as mobile. Any other mobiles, please? Moving along, let's go to home stations and see how many listen to the news at home today.
VK3FTOM, Tom.
VK3KZ.
VK3 Bravo Victor.
VK3EJ. S3 Juliet Romeo.
VK3 Mike Golf.
Sierra Hotel.
Juliet Sierra.
K3ND Greg Infantry Guy.
K3 Lima Alpha Charlie.
VK3 November Hotel, Roeville.
So far we have KZ, BV, EJ, JR, MG, SH, NB, LAC and NH.
VK3FTOM, Tom, in Wheelers Hill.
VK3WWB.
Added you, Tom, STOM, and I think that was WWB. Good morning, Brendan.
VK3 Lima.
VK3 Mike Romeo Golf.
VK3 Zulu Hotel. VK3 Golf Mike Hotel.
3 Victor Juliet Sierra.
VK3 Papa Hotel Listerfield.
VK3 Delta Quebec with VK3 Victor India Papa.
Okay, we've added Ralph, Lima, Marshall, MRG, ZH, GMH, VJS, PH, DQ and VIP. Good morning to all. Any other home stations?
VK3EF.
The X part, what's the first bit, please?
VK3NCR.
VK3 Echo India Papa. VK3 1.
Out of that, I added NCR and EIP. Good morning to you both. Any other home stations?
VK3JWC.
VK3NY. VK3TZE. VK3 Juliet Golf Papa.
K3ZLT.
Righto, added JWT, NY, TZE, JGP and ZLT.
VK3 CHI.
VK3 Bravo Sierra Echo.
VK3 Uniform Kilo Whiskey Luke in Mulgrave.
Good morning to Andrew, John and Luke. CHI, BSE and UKW. Any other home stations? Then last call, anybody anywhere that listened to the news this morning.
3 Hotel Papa.
K3ZSG.
Added Simon, ZSG. I didn't get the station before that.
VK3HP, Michael.
VK3HP. Okie dokie, we've added that one. Any others?
3VAT.
The last ones added were Grant, HP, and Tony, VAT. Any other home stations?
K3NEF.
NEF. You know VK3NEF.
Sorry, affirmative to that.
No worries. Any other home stations? If we're all done, that gives us a grand total today of 63 callbacks, of which 25 are club members. Not going so well in the national number chart at the moment. Up to last week we were at 902, and we're behind the VK5 group with 1,176. I don't know if we'll catch up by the end of the year, but I'm sure that we shall try. Little bit of news, just to remind you, this afternoon the Easy Pal Slow Scan TV group will again be making transmissions on this repeater between 2:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. If you'd like more information, please contact Chris Long, VK3AML at optusnet.com.au. Next Friday, the 2nd of October, Mark Hudson, VK3MDH, Don, VK3SP, and John, VK3ZRX, will be giving us a talk on WISEN, what it is and what it does, followed by a talk on the HF data system known as MCOM. This will be a Facebook Live event. We regret to advise you of the passing of David Nisbet, VK3XDA. David, known as Nessie, was our bulletin editor from 2009 to 2016 and an active club member. David passed away aged 71 on Wednesday after a long battle with cancer. His funeral is on Wednesday. Our condolences and prayers go to his family. Club nets, we still have a daily VHF net at 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. on 146.525. Thursday clubroom meetings are still on Zoom, and if you'd like an email with a relevant link, please either let me know or go have a look in the members section on the website. This is VK3FLMV. Now changing my call sign to VK3ER for the Emdrc Club net. If you'd like to join the net, you can do so now.
VK3FTOM, Tom in Wheelers Hill, thanks for doing this morning, Michael, and condolences to, I think you said it was Bessie's family. That's really sad to hear, and yes, sorry to hear about that all. VK3FTOM.
VK3WWB listening only.
Checking into the net.
VK3 Bravo Victor listening only.
Juliet Romeo.
VK3ZT Paul.
Okay, I've got FTOM, WWB, BV and ZT. There was somebody else that came up after Alan.
K3 Juliet Romeo.
Good morning, Frank. Got you. So now we're down to ZT. Anybody else for the net?
VK3GJC.
And VK3 AKG.
VK3 BSE.
Not sure if you got him in there earlier, but Luke UKW was trying to check in. This is VK3 FTL.
Yeah, I have Luke. So if I just quickly nick through again, we've got FTOM, WWB, BV, JR, ZT, JC, AKG, BSE and UKW.
JAG, Judy, listening only.
VK3, ZKK, Tube, listening only.
A3NCR, listening only.
3VLT, listening only. VK3ZAQ, listening only.
I missed a few listening onlys. I've got JAG and ZKK both listening only, but there was somebody else that said listening only too.
3ZAQ, Michael.
Matango. VK3NCR, listening only.
Okay, I have Lima Tango. Was that a listening only?
Victor Lima Tango, listening only.
Anybody else for the net this morning?
Yeah, Charlie.
The only part of that I got was Juliet Charlie. Would you like to go again?
Charlie. 3.
Not going to get you, of course. No doubt due to our resident moron on here. Do you want to try again?
Juliet Whiskey Charlie. 3 Juliet Whiskey Charlie. Case VK3 JWC.
I've got Juliet Whiskey Charlie at last, and I've also added JWT. Anybody else for the net this morning?
Yeah, Jamie, VK3 TZE.
Got you, Jamie. Last call for anybody for the net this morning. So we'll go back to the top of the list, and we'll talk to Tom in Wheelers Hill, VK3 FTOM. This is VK3ER. Good morning, Tom.
Yeah, VK3ER, VK3 FTOM. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, all on frequency. Sorry to hear about the silent key. That's never good when that happens. But yeah, I'm just sitting here at the kitchen table with the FT817 and a small bean. And yeah, just thinking about life in the universe. I'll try and receive some of the Easy Power transmissions today. I'll try. But I won't be at the home kitty H. I'll be in Bourne, so I'll throw an antenna out the window and try and receive some of the transmissions. But yes, I might only be receiving only for the Easy Power group, but might see what I can do. Anyway, not much else to really report. it's a bit dark and gloomy outside, and it has been for the last couple of days. But on one side of the house it looks dark and gloomy, and the other side it still looks blue. So don't know what the weather's doing, but hey, I suppose typical Melbourne. But yeah, good to hear you about Jamie, and good to hear everybody else. VK3 VK3 FTON.
Yes, I'll look forward to playing with Easy Pal myself today, Tom, so might see you there. Moving on to Brendan, VK3 WWB. Good morning, Brendan.
VK3ER and VK3 WWB. Good morning, Michael, and everybody else. I actually did say listening only, but obviously I must have got a bit stomped on with part of the transmission there, but that's okay. Looking forward to the Easy Pal net this afternoon. Be good to catch up with a few other people that haven't joined in yet. It'd be good when you actually get a chance to TX, Tom. It'd be good to see it come up. But at least try and receive some if you can. It'd be good. Anyway, I'll pass it back to you, Mike. I'll catch you a bit later on. I'll just keep listening for now. I'm going to get back to some household chores. VK3ER, VK3 WWB.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, Brendan. I've now marked you as listening only. Moving on to Alan, VK3 Bravo Victor. Good morning, Alan.
VK3ER, VK3 Bravo Victor. Yeah, I was also listening, but anyway, no dramas. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for running the net, Michael. Haven't got much to add at the moment, so I'll go back to listening. So everybody enjoy the rest of the day. Looking forward to Dan's announcement to see what restrictions are going to be lifted. VK3ER, VK3 Bravo Victor.
I wouldn't hold your breath on very many restrictions getting lifted at the moment, but let's wait and see what the Fuhrer has to say about that later. Moving on to JR, VK3JR. This is VK3ER. Good morning, Frank.
VK3ER, VK3JR, yeah. Good morning, everyone. I was very shocked to hear of Nessie's passing. I had no idea that would happen. Even though he's been unwell for a long time. I had very many happy conversations with him in the rooms. He was very much a part of our weekly gatherings there when he was able to come, and he'll be much missed. So that's really all I wanted to say about that, and all I want to say about anything really, except to wish everyone 7-3, and I'll make this the one and only Michael, and we will talk no doubt through the week. VK3ER, VK3A, VK3JR.
Yep. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the news as it is, Frank. And thanks for coming up. We'll talk to you on Zoom perhaps on Thursday. Moving on to Inverloch, we go to VK3ZT. Morning, Paul.
VK3ER, VK3ZT. Good morning, Michael. Good morning to all on the net and to all the listeners out there. I'm sorry, I was going to say something, but I've forgotten his call sign there, FMGH, if he's still there. Michael, I'm just putting a word out that I'm looking, I've got a couple of nets I'd like to join in on 40 and 80, single sideband nets. I'm looking at these antenna phasing noise cancellers, and just wondering if anybody's had any experience with them or if they'd recommend them. They come in two different price streams, and of course I'd like to do it for less if you could. That's all I have to say today. VK3ER, VK3ZT, Paul.
Yeah, I personally use the MFJ 1026 noise cancelling signal enhancer, and I do have, I would have to say, limited success with it. Some days I can phase the noise right out down to nothing, and other days I can't. And I'm thinking it's where my second antenna is located. I'm going to relocate it and try again. But the unit does make a big difference on most days on both 80 and 40, Paul.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. We might chat more about that another time. But yes, it's very, very reassuring. I've seen them at Ross's shop, but also, there's also the DX Engineering one, which comes in about probably starts at 3 times that price. But thank you very much for that, Michael. Very kind of you. VK3ZT.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, Paul, and we can certainly talk about that later. Moving on to Preston, VK3JWC. Good morning, John.
Morning, Michael, and all. Thanks very much, Michael, once again for hosting the activity. I think you also picked up a Juliet Whiskey Tango, and I think that may have been me, but just catching. Nothing to add. Have a good day, everybody, and take care of yourself. So VK3JWC will be clear on this. Back to you, Mike.
Yeah, you're probably right, because JWT doesn't exist on the database, so I had a question mark. I've never raised that one. Thanks for pointing that out. We now go over to Warrandyte South and talk to Martin, VK3, AKG. Good morning. Maybe we don't. We'll try Martin again next time round. VK3 BSE. John. Good morning, John.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. VK3. If you're running, I think it was ER or whatever it is. VK3 BSE. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, good to hear the broadcast this morning and a bit of development further on the 7 meg effect on plant growth. And that little riddle about discovering of copper wire at various depths, I think I recall that, hearing that from somewhere before, but yes, it's a good one. For the major activity here is that I made a couple of pots of silver beet soup yesterday. I've got silver beet growing all over the place, and I put about 100 leaves of silver beet into a couple of pots, and it's really had no effect on how the garden looks. It's still big green leaves all over the place. RFIs, electronics, not a lot happening. I received a few deliveries from RS Components, so there will be things to do, gas supplies to fix, whatever else. Anyway, I'll be listening around. In fact, I was listening, was it last week I heard some of the Easy Power broadcast. I was just listening. I don't have sort of video look at stuff down here. But anyway, I also heard a bit of the chatter of the Easy Power goings on. Maybe one day I'll decode the tones and stick it into a laptop or something like that. Anyway, actually, also as for tones, I must get around to put tones into the FM 900 so I can use that for getting into REC. This is just a little handheld I'm using at the moment. Anyway, that's it for me for now. Lovely sunny day down here at Summers. I've been for a little 40-minute walk around the place this morning. It's quite pleasant here at the moment. VK3 ER and the group, VK3 BSE.
Yes, thanks for coming up this morning, John. I think we'll let you get back to your silver beet and look forward to finding you on Easy Pal one day soon. I put my interface together yesterday and I hope to have a play with it later with the guys. So we'll catch you next time round. Moving down to Mulgrave, we'll talk to Luke, VK3 UKW. Good morning, Luke.
Yeah, good morning, Michael and the group. Not much new from me. I will also try to catch some transmissions on the EasyPoll net later this afternoon. I tried last Sunday and didn't manage to quite get sync to actually receive any images. So I'll try again today. I've got one news item that I'm sure will be in your email inbox soon as well. We've got 2 HF contests coming up in October, the Oceania DX next weekend and the CQ Worldwide contest 3 weeks later. And Michael, do let me know how I'm sounding right now, just to give me an idea of how well I've pointed my antenna into the repeater. Back to you, VK3ER, VK3 Uniform Kilo Whiskey.
Yeah, here in Baronia, I'm getting you about 3 and 9. It gets rosy. Sometimes it's 5 and 9, sometimes down to 3 and 9. There's a lot of mush in the background. But I think it's more of an audio thing. There's plenty of carrier, but the audio's a bit iffy. Again, we are listening to the repeater, so maybe we can play on simplex later if you want to.
VK3FTOM with a comment.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, Michael, I can hear Luke on reverse. He's about he's 5.9 plus 20 on reverse here, 5.9 plus 20 dB on reverse, and into the repeater he's a bit ropey. But yeah, on reverse, Luke, you're 5.9 plus 20 dB.
Okay, Tom, maybe I need to repoint my antenna. I'll have a look at that later.
Yeah, no problems. Just on reverse, you're very loud here. But while saying that, you're only about 2 Ks from my QDH.
Excellent piece of wet string you're using, Tom. Okay, moving on, we go to Jamie, VK3TZE. Morning, Jamie.
Yeah, just trying to send you an email. Yep, no problem. Yep, and I'll be on this afternoon. I'll do some testing in between now and then. Unfortunately, I can't hear Tom direct and I can't hear Luke direct, but we shall work around that.
Yeah, right, I'll give you a call when I'm done here and we'll play with it again if you like.
Myself.
Righto, we're back with you again, Tom. You seem to be there all the time. VK3FTOM.
Yeah, VK3FTOM, VK3. Yeah, no worries, Michael. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of me, mate. I'm a permanent fixture of the amateur band. I apologise. But yeah, anyway, not to worry. But yeah, Luke, I can hear you very, very nicely on reverse, but while saying that, you're not too far away from where I am at all. So that doesn't surprise me, because yeah, you're probably 2-3 Ks away, because you're over in Mulgrave, and that's one of my QDH is on the border of Mulgrave and Wheelers Hill. So yeah, I'm on the Wheelers Hill side of the border, but only by about 2 streets, so it doesn't surprise me that you can hear me. But yeah, anyway, and I can hear you rather well. Anyway, not to worry, all's going well here. And yeah, anyway, I'll put it back to net control, VK3ER, VK3FTOM.
Yep, thank you, Tom. Back with Paul now, VK3ZT down in Inverloch.
VK3ER, VK3ZT. Thanks for running the net, Michael. Very much appreciated. I'm trying to make an effort to join the net every time it's on. Anybody, shout out to VAT. I'll be back on Bass Hill, mate, shortly. And same with David VRA. 73's Michael. 73 to everybody. Hopefully we can catch up sometime, maybe on a Zoom meeting, Michael. We'll talk about the noise cancellers. Over to you, mate. So 73.
Yeah, if you jump on, where is it? I think it's on our website, or on the QRM Guru site. There's a video there that Craig, VK3MET, put up, actually showing you the MFJ box and how he uses it.
Thank you for that. I might have to get an email or a link off you. I'm not too sure.
I shall send it to you as soon as the net's over with. Okay, moving on, we'll try Martin again, VK3AKG, although he might have said that he was only listening. Are you with us this morning, Martin? Okay, we're back with you, Jamie, VK3TZE, this is VK3ER.
Yeah, I'll make this my phone. I'm just mucking around with wiring at the moment. Received your email and I sent you an email as well. Okay, let me work on it. I'll hear from you after you've done your other stuff. Okay, VK3ER, VK3TZE. Thank you. Cheers.
Yep, talk to you shortly, Jamie. Back to you, Tom. do you have anything else for us? VK3 FTOM. This is VK3ER.
Yeah, VK3ER, VK3FTOM returning. Yeah, I don't know how well I'll be getting into the repeater when the Easy Pal net's on because I'll be in Bulwen. But I'll take an external antenna and I'll take some coax and I'll take a radio and I'll try. I'm not going to make any guarantees, but I'll certainly try.
That's all we can do, Tom, is try our best with what we've got, mate. And I wish you the best of luck with that. And I look forward to perhaps receiving a picture or two from you. If that's all you have, I'll say 73 to you for now.
Yeah, no worries, Michael. I'm not set up for transmitting on Easy Pal yet. I still need to work out the interface thing for the whole transmitting side of things, but I should be able to receive.
Righto, Tom, and look forward to having a go on that this afternoon. So 73, everybody. This is Michael, changing my call sign back to VK3 FLMV. Hope next week I'll have a new one, but we shall see. Until then, be safe, stay well, and I'll catch you further down the court. Cheerio for now. I'll now return the repeater to its normal use. Cheers.
Cheers, Michael. Thanks for running the net. VK3FTOE. You still with us, Jamie? VK3TZE, VK3FTOE.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
How's life been, mate?
Oh, pretty good. Trying to get this Easy Pal to work. I can, send and receive it sometimes. And then I had one computer talking to another. Must have been driving anyone on 146.500 crazy last night up until about 11:30.
Yeah, right, okay. No problems. 146.500. Okay, so you're not... Sorry, for a second I thought you meant RML, but no, that's not RML. That's just a simplex frequency. Anyway, not to worry. How's the harmonic and the XYL this morning?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the harmonic for a while. But you rang in day before yesterday, I think, checking up on her. And then, she's doing all right. I'm going, I haven't booked yet, but not this week, but the week after, I'm going to have a Corona 19 or whatever you call it, virus check. So it's going to be interesting.
You're going to go and be tested, are you?
Yeah, why not? Everyone else does, so I might as well add to Dan's numbers.
Yeah, but do you have any symptoms?
No, not yet.
Then why are you bothering?
Because my doctor told me to go and do it, because they're going for an operation on the Friday, not this Friday, Friday the 9th. So to get access to the hospital, I have to be, make sure I'm virus free.
Ah, right, okay, no problems at all. What are you okay? What's going on exactly?
I'll let you know after the operation. No, it should be okay.
Alright, just stay safe and look after yourself, mate. I don't want you catching viruses or having any medical problems of any variety.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, I can live without that. Yeah. It's funny though, I get the test once I do the test. It's got to be 3 or 4 days before I go to hospital. So they're trying to push to 4 days, so that's right. But that means I've got to quarantine for 4 days. That means no one in and out. Wife won't be able to go in and out. So yeah, that'd be interesting.
Not allowed to leave the house, that sucks.
S3JR? I'm used to that. Go ahead.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Jamie. Just want to say hello. Very sad about Messi. Jamie, you in particular would remember him, but I'm sure you do too, Tom. I didn't know he was that sick. Anyway, back to you, Tom. VK3TOM.
Yeah, VK3 JR, VK3FTOM. Yeah, no worries, Frank. It is sad to hear. Any silent key's not good, and unfortunately, there seem to be a lot of them. It's not good. It's certainly not good, but yeah. Unfortunately, cancer is rather common, and it still doesn't make it a good death, but it does really suck, to put it nicely. And yeah, it's certainly not good, and I hope his family cope and at the moment it would be a terrible time to lose somebody because you can't even go to the funeral, because of all the COVID restrictions. Because you could have, 10, 20 people at a funeral. It's just dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. Don't know what else to say, really. VK3, JR, VK3, FTOM.
Well, there's nothing you can say, Tom. I don't know any of his family. Certainly would give them my condolences if I did. And we will miss him. That Scottish accent. And he had lots of stories about the work he used to do and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, we're still here and we'll move on. I hear you're going to listen to Easy Pal. That's very, very good initiative that Chris is spearheading there with the Easy Pal. And I think it's gaining in momentum. And I think it's very good use of the repeater for us to do it on Sunday afternoon. So it's all to the good. Back to you, Jamie, VK3ZT, how are you? And I think it's time for a coffee, VK3ZT, VK3JR.
ML? Yeah, time for a coffee. Hey, I got a photo of the Timsans there, I can send you that. I've been trying to send it over Slow Scan TV and over Easy, so I haven't been able to do that yet. I think the file's too big, but I was told last Thursday how to reduce the file, so I've been mucking around with that, bit of practice. Slowly getting there. I'll let you go. It's bad about Dave. Definitely lose another member of the club and another member of the amateur radio fraternity. It is hard. And more so when you know them, even if you don't know them, it's still a worry. All right, okay. I'm going back on the side and I'm going into the kitchen, make breakfast and have a coffee and see if the wife comes down and make my lunch. Give her a hint. All right. Catch you both later, Tom, VK3, FTOM and VK3. JR. Cheers, 73. Take care. Play it safe.
AML.
Forget AML.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, g'day, Frank and Jamie. Clearing the throat here a bit. I just, with the Easy Pal group, I'm glad to see that it's taking off, but I'm looking at this stage for somebody to deputise on Sundays that I'm not available. And I thought to myself, probably VK3OHM might be worth an approach. It has to be somebody on the Emdrc or a current financial member. This is going with the committee decision on the usage of it for EasyPal. Anyway, 2:30 we'll be starting VK3TZE and the group VK3AML.
I thought so, 2:30 is fine by me, not a problem. I got a note on that.
We're asking Mark, Chris, I'm sure he seems to be quite into it. So the interest level would be there. It's just a question of whether he's got the time. We've all kind of got the time these days, but hopefully there will be a loosening of the restrictions and we'll be able to get on with other things. Tom, to have a turn.
Chris, I've spoken with Michael at a when I say long extent, we had a whoops, whoa, that wasn't intentional. Just knocked the antenna over. I was talking to Michael, and I wouldn't be able to do it every Sunday, but from time to time, if somebody wants me to, I'd be more than happy to throw my hand up and do it once every couple of weeks if somebody wanted me to. And I've had this conversation with Michael. VK3, AML VK3 FTL.
No worries, Tom. If you can do it, all the better. And Frank last night did the missions and transmitted a whole lot of things that I thought wouldn't be of any interest, and then towards the end decided that to liven things up, I'd transmit a short medical insert, 15 minutes worth of a doctor talking about non-antibiotic resistant gonorrhea, and that seemed to get more ratings than anything else. VK3JR, VK3AML.
VK3UKW.
Sorry, over to you, Frank. God.
There was somebody else trying to break in there, Chris. Do you want to let them in? VK3FTON.
PAML with a pause for the break. Am I not getting out? VK3 Alpha Mike Lima.
No, Chris, you're getting out. I don't know if but there was somebody trying to get in, and you're getting out. I don't know what's going on there. VK3FTON. Frank, there's something weird going on there, mate. We're only getting a little bit to your transmission, VK3FTON.
Might have switched his subtone off, Tom.
Don't know at all, Chris. But yeah, I was talking to Michael, and I'll ring you off this medium if you want. We can discuss me doing a little bit of it. And as I said to Michael, I wouldn't be able to do it every week, but from time to time, I'm willing to stick my hand up and do it.
I think my wife would have my guts for garters if I was to say that I was absolutely going to be on that thing every week. So I'm a little bit concerned that it might grow into a Frankenstein. That's why I want to spread the load. But you're a financial member, Tom. There's no reason you shouldn't occasionally be the coordinator.
VK3 WWB.
Go ahead, Brendan.
AML in the group, VK3 WWB. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of becoming a financial club member as well, so I'll probably be able to take over some of those responsibilities occasionally also. I'll keep you updated on that. VK3 AML, VK3 WWB.
Brendan, the only thing that they put as a stipulation for the coordinator, what do they call it, the moderator, is that they be a current paid-up member of the Emdrc. That's the only concern there. That's why I suggested 30HM Mark or Tom VK3. F calls. I'm sorry, I can't memorise them. Tom, what's your F call?
Foxtrot Tango Oscar Mike, VK3FTOM.
Of course, I'm sorry, Tom. FTOM. Anyway, back to you, Brendan. VK3WWB and hand it round. I think TZE's in there somewhere. VK3WWB and group VK3AML.
3 Uniform Kilo Whiskey.
I'll take them and pass it over to Uniform Kilo Whiskey. VK3AML, VK3WWB. Yeah, like I said, I'm actually thinking of becoming a financial club member of the EMDRC, so yeah, I will be a paid-up member, so I'll be able to help out once I do that, hopefully in the next week or two. Anyway, I'll pass it over to VK3 Uniform Kilo Whiskey. This is VK3 WWB.
Yeah, thank you, WWB. This is VK3 Uniform Kilo Whiskey, and Chris, once I've got my setup figured out so that I can actually receive images, I would be happy to also do a few shifts as a net coordinator. VK3AML, VK3UKW.
Okay, I've just made that note. Good. So we'll see what pans out. I mean, it could be just that a group of us take it on in rotation, but my concern with any constant commitment, particularly on a weekend, is that my wife and I may make alternative arrangements, it being a Sunday, you know what it's like. So back to Tom, VK3FTOM, VK3AML.
Yeah, VK3AML, VK3FTOM. Well, Chris, what we could always do is just say, if you give somebody else 24 hours notice, can somebody else take it over? I don't think that would be too much of a hard asking. But yeah, I do completely understand what you mean, because being a weekend, sometimes people want to go away for the weekend, or want to go and do X, or want to go and do this. So yeah, I'm sure we could figure something out.
VK3JR back.
Yes, Frank.
thank you. It's good to be back. From time to time, I just lose tone, and I don't know why. So if I go again, that's what's happened. I don't know how to fix it because I don't know why it's doing it. Anyway, seems to be okay for the moment. Yeah, it would be good if Luke could do it, being vice president, if he add a bit of extra gravitas to the whole enterprise. It is a very good enterprise, Chris. It seems to be a very much growing medium. It seems to be quite powerful. Being able to send, I was very impressed to hear that it was able to send a whole lot of text in one transmission. It seems like a potentially very useful thing that it can do in terms of what we're on about, sending circuitry, that sort of stuff. Back to I'll put it back to you, Chris, because I really don't know. VK3 AML for the group, VK3JR.
No worries, Frank. It's not it's not specifically a slow scan program. It's a digital streaming program for any digital file. And these types of programs are subject to constant development. At the moment, it would appear that EasyPal is the most well-developed of all of the programs, but it can do with all sorts of tweaks. And for VHF, it could be extended in bandwidth from 2.4 kilohertz to 5 kilohertz very easily, which would double the speed at least. Not to mention the fact that with the smaller amount of multipath and noise on VHF, the transfer rate is also enhanced, so it could be a lot better for VHF. It's been optimised for HF by the late VK4 AES. Who should I hand it to? VK3 WWB, I guess. Brendan to hand round VK3 AML. UKW?
I'm in the middle of cleaning in the kitchen at the moment, actually, so I'll pass it back and just be sitting on the side listening. VK3 AML, VK3 WWB.
Okay, round to 3 UKW, I think, in that case.
Yeah, this is VK3 UKW, coming back to 3 AML. I do have one thing in terms of feedback for last week to you, Chris, which is that it was very hard for me to break into the NAT. I came in a little bit late, and I didn't think that it was worth checking in at the beginning. But you certainly didn't leave a lot of breaks for people to come into the NAT late. Just wanted to mention that, and also I'm going to be getting onto the ladder and just repoint my antenna a little bit to the repeater to optimize my chances for this afternoon. So I'll miss the next couple overs.
Okay, no worries. Yes, and we had 14 on the net last Sunday, so it may have been that my unwillingness to let anybody else break in was partly intentional, but I'll try and make a gap this time. VK3 UKW, VK3 AML.
Yeah, I understand. That's okay. All right, and that's VK3 UKW going quiet for a bit, just for a few minutes while I repoint my antenna. So back to the group. I'll pass it back to you, VK3 AML, VK3 UKW.
I think it's over to VK3JR. Frank.
K3 AML and the group VK3JR. Yeah, look, I might bow out at this time. I feel the need for a cup of coffee coming on. So I might go and talk to Mrs. Nolan and see how we can negotiate. Otherwise, I'll get one myself. Okay, I'm sure she'll help. Best wishes to you all. Have a good week, and look forward to catching up, if not before, on Thursday on Zoom. VK3JR clear of the group and putting it to VK3ZTE.
I think you meant TZE, and I think he disappeared. VK3FTON.
Go ahead, Trevor. Trevor, go ahead.
No, I was doing something. Sorry to pull me in.
Were you calling me, VK3FTON?
But you wanted to make a transmission.
No, I just said, all I was saying, I wasn't sure whether, what I was saying was, I think Jamie left, and that's all I popped my head up to say, VK3FTON.
I don't think we've got too many left. I missed a part of Trevor's. Did Trevor say that he's not able to talk at the moment?
I don't know. Trevor, over to you, VK3VTX, VK3FTON.
VK3FTON. Yeah, not bad, Tom. What's been happening?